This is a review for the Horsethief Campground outside of Moab near the entrance to Canyonlands National Park. Moab is a great area for boondocking because there is so much BLM land, and that stands for Bureau of Land Management in this case. You can see here with the Compendium app in the green are where you have national forest or BLM land or state parks or national parks, and then the blue indicates the private RV resorts, which are more along the strip for Highway 191. We really had 3 locations in mind. The first was Goose Island if we got in early enough, but they don't have a whole lot of spots there. It's a first come, first serve. The second option was here at Horsethief, which we ended up getting into, and I'll tell you more about that. And then the third option, if we couldn't get into Horsethief Campground, was to stay on Willow Springs Road, which is just dispersed camping. So it's just an open road and you can just park anywhere. So it's truly boondocking. I would consider Horsethief actually dry camping because it doesn't have any hookups, but you do have a designated campsite. The location for the Horsethief Campground is north of Moab, so as you're heading up 191, you have Arches National Park is off to your right, and then you're going to get off on the exit for 313. This is the road that the sign will indicate that it's going to Dead Horse State Park and Canyonlands National Park. And that's the road that you take in, and then there's a small little right-hand turn on Mineral Point Road, and there's a sign there for the campground, so you'll know you're in the right place. If you were to continue that road going down, you can take a left-hand turn and go to Dead Horse State Park, which we did that night, and then you can go back and continue on the Island in the Sky Road, and that will get you into actual Canyonlands National Park. Here's some video of making that drive. There's the sign there that tells you you're heading into Canyonlands and heading towards Dead Horse State Park. And you can see we're pretty much still flat at this point in time. The road eventually does start working its way up the canyon, and you work your way onto the top of that mesa. So there's a little bit of switchbacks and some incline, but it's not anything too terrible or for too long. And then you work your way up, and this is what it looks like coming into the campground. So there's a couple different loops. We came in, I think it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So not super early to be trying to get a first come, first serve type of spot. This is the 3rd week of May, so it's very busy in Moab this time of year. But we came through and they did not have the sign up that said that the campground was full. So we started driving on one of the bigger loops. And as we are finishing up the loop and we're realizing there's no spots in the loop where we just drove by, the park ranger happened to be pulling up on the ATV, and he was putting up the campground full sign. So we stopped to talk to him and just ask him what he thought about other spots and everything. And he mentioned that we could stay at the group site. Now, the group sites are reservable ahead of time online through recreation.gov. That's the case for Goose Island or here or Ken's Lake or any of those places where it's first come, first serve for general spots. The group sites are actually reservable ahead of time. But the group site's like $100. So unless you have a group, it doesn't necessarily make sense to pay that much money to camp just for the night. So, but if you are here and the campground is full and they do not have anybody reserved in the group sites, then it's available for you just for one night at a rate for $25. So I think the regular Horsethief Campground was $20 for the sites, and the group site then is a little bit more expensive, $25, but you get to stay there for one night. You can't stay for more than one night. And of course, you can't stay there if it's already reserved. But it worked out perfectly for us because we ended up with this really large site. They do allow generators at this site, which is nice, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., which worked out well because we ended up going on a bike ride, and then we ended up doing a hike the next morning, and we had our dog there, and we wanted to leave the air conditioning on for her and needed the generator to do that. Here's just a quick map of a few other campgrounds in the area. So it's allowed that if they don't have it reserved and you're walking for the night, you can stay here for one night, and it's a $25 charge for up to 5 people to stay here on one of the sites. So that's what we're getting to do tonight, and we'll only be here one night. We actually only needed to be here one night anyway because we have reservations starting tomorrow. But you can see the nice spot we have and the gorgeous view. We're gonna do a little biking because there's amazing bike trails here and all the sites. The campground did have some vault toilets. We didn't end up needing those, but they would have those if you needed them. And they also had trash service. So they had a large roll-off dumpster, and you can just go and put your trash there if you're staying here at the campground, which is really nice when you are boondocking to have somewhere to put your trash. There's a number of trails around here if you want to do some mountain biking, and you can stay here close to the campground. We tried to do that ride out to Navajo Rocks for a little while, but I had my road bike with me, which was not really thick enough tires, and the girls just have little one-speed bikes, and they were really rocking it, but it's hard to do mountain biking with that kind of a bike.
Horsethief Trail. Mountain biking. This is what this looks like. Like that, and I also have no problem doing this kind of stuff.
The other thing that makes this campground great is its proximity to Dead Horse State Park. That's here. I think the fee to get into Dead Horse was $20 for the vehicle for the day pass, and it's a state park, so it's not included on your national parks pass. But if you have a Utah Parks Pass, I guess that would work. Beautiful views though. And then Canyonlands is just a little further down the road as well, maybe 15 minutes away. And you're not that far from Arches, so if you wanted to use this campground as a base, you can stay here for up to 14 days. And so you can use this as a base and head to Arches as well, which is probably about a half an hour away. I hope this review was useful to you if you're considering boondocking in the Moab area. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. You can follow us for more campground reviews and national park items, RV travel, stuff like that. And you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at RV Homeschool. Thanks so much for watching.